Why is it though that you have to strike? Why do you have to stop teaching this coming Thursday? Because it seems there's plenty of other options you could do. You could strike next week, but then there would be no students here. Or you could refuse to mark papers, you could not assess coursework, you could stop, everyone could stop their research projects. Why have you chosen to stop teaching?
Well, a strike has to be effective. There's no point striking it if it's not going to make any difference. So that's the first thing. You can't, if we strike next week, then there's going to be no impact. So you've got to have some impact. So, for example, when the Royal Mail workers went on strike, they didn't deliver letters. When the bin workers here in Leeds went on strike against this council and their attempts to try and drag down their salaries, they stopped picking up rubbish. You know, you've got to do something which has an impact. Unfortunately, it has an impact on the end user or the consumer, or in this case, the student. We've looked at all the possibilities. Now, you talk about not assessing or not doing exam work. Well, that is another option further down the line, but we prefer not to go there straight away because that has a much bigger impact on students than just stopping teaching for one day. We can't strike on research projects because we have contracts with other people, not with the university. So we would be breaking the law if we broke those contracts with publishers or with companies that have paid money for the people in chemistry to do a certain project. It's just not feasible to not do research as a strike action, because the university would be laughing behind their hands at us. We'd be shooting ourselves in the feet and making no impact on the university at all. Now, certainly there are certain strikes in administration that you could do, but they don't have any impact because other people then do what you've not done. So the only realistic impact that we can have as a group of workers is by removing ourselves and removing our labour for a day in the area where it makes the most impact and the highest visibility, and that's strikes. Now, the reason why we declare a strike is not because we want to take that strike action. We don't look forward to losing a day's pay and standing out in the cold on a picket. These are not things that we relish. But announcing a strike gets things done. The last time we announced a strike, we had an amazing collection of agreements on the 24th of February. They've then, since then, done nothing and delayed making any real decisions. So it seems to be by declaring a strike, it's the most effective way of not having to strike. If that sounds contradictory, but
no, I can see where you're coming from. But what if there is this strike and then there's more strikes and still negotiations don't reach the point where both sides are happy? Is this gonna what's the pinnacle going to be?
We hope the pinnacle will be an agreement with the university, whereby we get a set of regulations that they agree to abide by, and that we get a set of procedures that they agree to abide by for pursuing their reviews. And obviously we want to get a commitment to make nobody compulsorily redundant as well, so that all job losses are voluntary and that we know what the processes are for avoiding even voluntary job losses.